do the thing. Hello, hello. So I'm gonna just start recording without having like my audio settings perfect. Um, and we're gonna work that out. Let's see. It seems a bit loud. Not really sure. It would be nice if I could choose some settings that were, that were, kind of permanent. It's hard to, take time to do that sort of thing. Nice. This is like a scary type of sound. Like, it sounds like voices. I don't have a pen? Did you die? Yeah. Still, I need to stop like changing just my action bars like 6 times last night. I'm trying to find a replacement for the whole top left as my character. I'm starting to think like maybe I should just leave that. Because nothing I was doing was working, and it was not the right time for experimentation. It's comfort zone time. And I'm like, not sure how much if at all I want to talk about stuff. Mistake. Because like I tried to put a task in the I need to relax slot. Ooh, boy, I lost my thing. My guy, my oaken basin. My farfigure. What are my options here? Why? Oh, not 6, but why? Okay, well, it's going to take a while, so we're going to do that. Gotta figure out a way not to get so stressed out from text messages. And it doesn't seem like it should matter if my phone is on my table, and when I get a text message, I can feel but it does matter, because this is like a pretty important time for me, especially lately. Just chill out. Can we just you know, just enjoy ourselves time. And I'm not sure why I do stupid things like what I did. Trying to get a mini fridge into a right spot in my room. It's like a new mini fridge. And I wanted to do two things. I wanted to play the game because that's what I do in this slot. Like, I don't have a lot of my routine set yet. Oh, again? Jesus. I need to change my action bars back to one. So, I'm going to do this right now. And possibly die. So, because I've spent so much time shit-talking people that can't handle change. Not options, edit mode. Come on. Reset to default. What? Since when is that the that's not the default. You can't be joking. You're gonna be kidding me. Reset to default? Like, what? Okay. Whatever. We will recreate. Oaken basin. So this is target, right? Target frame, yes. This goes here. Is that right? And this is focus, which doesn't matter too much because right now I don't use focus on this character. Why? Oaken basin, go over here. Maybe that'll be close enough. Maybe it'll get under my skin and annoy me until I figure out what the real location is supposed to be. So let me give you, just in case this video ever gets uploaded and like listened to and by anybody, let me give some examples for how dumb I am. Like, just in case, I don't know, maybe you've developed some kind of opinion that I'm a smart dude. And it's important to balance those out with my moments of stupidity, so you don't go thinking, oh man, if I wish I could be like that. And I'm like, well, I wish I could be like all my good parts, but it's not that. I have to have both. So I got home, I spent a lot of hours hanging out with my parents and doing stuff that I would consider to be work. Like, I had to do laundry over there. There was things at the store that I had to do. And my parents and I like shopped for stuff that I wanted to get. And already at their house was a new mini fridge and microwave that I had bought online and had sent to their house. I mean, that's kind of like because I'm over there once a week, pretty consistently, and I know both of them. I know that neighborhood. I know the neighbors there. lots of known elements. And at my house, there's still a lot of unknown elements. Like, I live in a quote-unquote bad area of town, and I mean that's just the reputation that gets handed to me, because people say that. And I could be, let me see. I could just be overthinking like how bad this area is because I haven't seen any badness. But there are unknowns and I don't like them. Like if I had the fridge, the mini fridge and the microwave ordered to my house where I actually live, not my parents' house. Someone will like bring in my mail or packages, and that's nice. Not gonna lie, but I don't know who it is because I've never seen it actually happen, and I don't think one of my roommates has said, "Oh, I was the one that brought in your mail. You're welcome." And probably for other people, that's fine. I mean, I don't even know if it's a problem. I'm just guessing. All I know is it seemed like a better idea to have the stuff, shipped to my mom's house, because it was just like I said before, more of a solid idea because fear of it. So let's just keep it at that. So I don't want to dwell on it. Anyway, so after this full day of work, came back home. And when I say work, I mean social time and errands and stuff. And after a day of real work or quote-unquote work, which happens in the first part of my day, then the second half of my day starts with a relaxation. That is the routine. And as I learn more and more about why things I try don't work, that it's not surprising. I mean, I just had, I guess, a moment of pure stupidity, or just failed to grasp how incapable of doing one extra thing is for me. So I got up to my room. My parents helped me move the stuff into my room because mini fridge is like heavy enough to need 2 people. And they got it in my room and they said, "Oh, I like your room. Looks nice." And I was like, "Okay, well, you guys need to go." I mean, I didn't say that, but I mean, they already had plans to a time-sensitive errand that they only had so much time to run, so they couldn't just hang out. And also, we had just spent 5 or 6 hours together, so I think all of us were ready to move on to the next phase of our day. So I had this mini fridge in my room, and the microwave, and 2 baskets of clean laundry, and 10 other little things I had gotten at Walmart. And already I'm understanding how do you say it? The depth of my mistake. Matt, what were you thinking? You had 20 new stuff in your room. Like, when are you gonna get it? And I just thought, the only thing I want to do is get the mini fridge, you know, into the place where it should go. And then after that, I'll play the game. So I got the game ready. Am I still recording? Okay, maybe, sure. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I wanted to check and make sure that I had fixed that stupid frame issue. I somehow accidentally slid, like, the video frame out of frame in the recording program that I use. Anyway. So, even though, in retrospect, it was a really dumb idea to try and do that fridge stuff, I did it. Or I tried. And even though I had just finished, like, you know, working out something in my head, like, about what works and what doesn't work. And I was saying stuff like, when it's time for, you know, relaxation, you don't do experimental stuff. You don't. I have seen this fail with myself so many times. It's just, I'm not sure. I think maybe just have faith in myself issue. Because, I mean, for my whole life, all the same advice. I was like dwelling on all the same advice in like life. You know, what works in life and what doesn't. And that advice sounds like, well, I know you want to play the game, but you're home now. So you're fine, and you're in the home stretch. You got the fridge up the stairs, and it's not going to be that difficult to just hang in there for a little while and finish the thing. And the reasoning is that you won't be able to enjoy yourself if you've done like 90% of something. And it's just, I mean, it's logical. Like, arguments like that are logical. That's why they're so hard to not trust. But I should have not trusted that. Because what happened was, I just couldn't figure out how to get this mini fridge into a setup that I wanted to do. Like, first of all, it wasn't like I had set everything up, you know, in my room, like, and all I would have to do is just Tetris in the mini fridge, and it would be fine. So it wasn't a situation like that, because that might have been doable. I don't know. It was a situation where several new elements had to come together. So the mini fridge, I wasn't sure where I wanted to put the mini fridge. And it was a mistake that I thought I could work that out on the fly. When I was frustrated, or like when I was supposed to have started relaxation time. That was a first mistake. And then my second mistake was not realizing that I had made a mistake. But anyway, it didn't get that bad. Like, I mean, I'm getting better. At a certain point, like, the longer I tried to get this fridge into a place that, you know, I was satisfied with, I cut down my goal like a few times until I was able to, get it to a point where I could abandon it, and be able to enjoy my game. So right now, what the heck is... Do you really mind? I need to take time, set aside some time to uninstall Adobe products. Somebody at that company is just, I just don't understand the logic. I get notifications that I don't want from the Adobe updater. When I try to uninstall Adobe, or like any Adobe program, which is what I tried to do last week, you should be able to do that. It's just a program on your computer. You're not Adobe's not in the middle of you and your computer, right? So imagine my surprise when I ran into a snag when I tried to uninstall. When I tried to uninstall, there was some kind of notification that said I have to log into Adobe. That's just insane. And that's on top of so many other things that I really don't like. The Adobe updating service, or I don't know, whatever, some group of 9 programs that run in the background. Cloud something. And if you open your task manager and you have Adobe Photoshop or something, you can see these. And they're just incredibly aggressive. There have been nights where I'm just enraged. I don't mean yelling and cursing and punching walls and stuff, but mostly internal rage. Because these programs just keep coming back. You can't end task. I mean, you can end the task, but they repopulate themselves instantly, and there's 9 of them. And so I will try to go through all of them really, really, really fast, and eliminate all of them because they are not needed. You don't need to have 9 programs running at all times, and I can't get control of the notifications that I don't want to see about updates that I don't want. And there's just somebody at Adobe that just does not care what people want. They just don't understand that this is my computer, not your computer. Okay? Whatever Adobe program that you made, or maybe you're just you weren't even there. The new Adobe program was made. There's just some thinking over there where they get to own stuff that's mine. And that's the theme there. They think that what's not theirs is theirs. And it's mind-boggling. And that is not even the worst instance of that. Because that stuff, that thing that is being talked about by people, at least to the extent that I heard about it without having to look for it. Pirate Software guy explained it really good in a short video. Like some new line in their TOS says basically that any stuff that you make with Adobe products belongs to them. Legally. And it's causing waves. And I'm really glad that it's, causing waves. Because nobody should put up with that. That's an insane, policy. And so I haven't been using Adobe. And I want to install it, but I'm being blocked. Because, some of it's, my fault. Because I could do this if I dealt with it at the right time. With the right mindset. Like at the beginning of the day, right before I go to work, or the right amount of time before I go to work. Or, something like that. I don't know. Or if I dealt with it one piece at a time over a period of 4 days, could get it done. And there would be snags, and I'd have to step away as many times as there was a snag, but I would get it done. But that's kind of hard. Anyway. Ah, Jesus! Just kicked off my thing. Anyway, just so many instances of this attitude where they think they get to do what they want. And I don't get a say in it. And it's insane. This is my computer. I should be able to uninstall any program I have. Why am I needing to log in? The Adobe updater that I can't kill, I cannot get Task Manager to shut it down, is perpetually logged in. I am logged in. You are forcing me to stay logged in. But it's Adobe Cloud Manager or something. And 8 other programs. And yet, if I try to uninstall the program, it's you need to log in. And I'm like, no, I don't. You need to check your privilege. You need to let me uninstall. And that's an insane thing to say, because this is my computer, not yours. You don't get 1% of it. I'm not consenting to that. And y'all need to start thinking about this concept where somebody else's, assertion that you consented is not consent. Okay? And I'm sorry if I'm blackballing, people that are feeling genuinely bad. Because I know all too well the feeling that, I didn't realize that was wrong, and I wouldn't have done it had I understood better. So if you're there, congratulations, that's a very good place, and I don't mean to cause you any additional pain, because I don't like feeling like that either. Anyway. I don't want to start on about consent, because I'm in a precarious mood where I want to chill out, and I don't want to dwell on heavy and dark topics. So, let me start by trying to explain ADHD stuff. The ADHD stuff that I was in the mood to talk about. And I was thinking about as I was failing at moving around the fridge. And most of this work has been done by other people. So, in particular, there's a meme that says ADHD, it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. And this meme, or whoever made this meme, like, really latched on to something, like, valuable. And they said, the disorder is named by people that are pissed off about ADHD people. Like, it's named for how, these people annoy regular people. And I really felt that in my core. Because it hits so accurately. Like, attention deficit. So that's the first part. Hyperactive is the second part. And disorder is, I guess the third part. I have to regrettably say. Because I don't like things with 3 parts. Go fuck yourself. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Who knows? So, let's start with the disorder. If you need to tell yourself, I'm just gonna take what this guy says with a grain of salt. Because he could be way off. And just way out on a limb, gone too far with theory and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. He doesn't have expertise, and that is correct. And I am wrong about a lot of things. So, get yourself in that position to not be surprised if this turns out to be super wrong. Because I have to pitch, like, stuff, like, concepts that are gonna blow your mind. No. Like, concepts, that, go against the whole ADHD thing being a quote-unquote disorder. And the first part I want to address is that ADHD is a disorder. I don't think it's a disorder. So, let me just start with that. Let me chill out for a second. This guy, I need to figure out how to heal this guy more reliably, because I just keep on not being able to do it. I think maybe now's a good time to do the weak ores thing I wanted to do earlier. So, let me find that weak ores window, and if I get frustrated, I'll just give up and go back and check this stuff. Weak ores, okay, I'm not in over here.
Weak ores. They can be daunting if you don't know how to use them.
I found it.
But once you have a bit of practice with how they work, you can create simple proc-based weak ores within seconds. It's really easy. So, today I'm going to teach you how to do simple proc-based weak auras, such as Fingers of Frost, Art of War, and so on.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with Fingers of Frost. So first off, what you want to do is make sure that you have the correct name of the aura, which is the buff. So here you can see that this one is called Fingers of Frost. Next up, you go into WeakAuras, and to do that, you do /WA in the chat box, and it will bring up this menu here.
Alright, so it says type in /WA in the hitbox. But Matt, don't do that, because Matt know if I type that one time, it will get me used to typing /WA when what's more better is make macro. New. I'm gonna type in WA. Okay. Right. So we're gonna save that for now.
And then you want to go to Pro, and to do so here you can see that this one is called Fingers of Frost. Next up, you go into WeakAuras, and to do that, you do /WA in the chat box, and it will bring up this menu here. And then you want to go to Progress Texture. Once you have selected
Hold on. Good God, they really just... They don't make videos for ADHD people. And I feel like maybe I should do that. Because like when I think about making a YouTube video in order to, you know, inform, the way I want to do it is so that the video can play on the second monitor and the video goes at the right speed, not fast, but the speed so that you can not keep going over and pausing the video in order to do the stuff that's being advised. It's slow enough that you can follow along, right? I'm pretty sure there's educational stuff like that, like teachers that, you know, working through stuff, some kind of education. Use your imagination. Can't do your job for you. Can't do everything. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to do /WA, but I have to choose a icon. There's something that I don't see elsewhere. We don't want brain icon because we use that somewhere else. Here, I don't see this one. You know, Matt, I gotta learn that once you find something you're looking for, you gotta stop looking. So we're doing this. It's going in the L utility square. What in the world? Oh, it's great. Let's see if just that works. What the hell? Oh, it worked. Okay, so does this work though? The macro version does not work. Okay.
Progress texture, you'll be greeted with this screen. And if you go to choose here, you can...
Hold on. You go way too fast. This is what I mean. This is a 5-minute and 9-second video. And chat, I ranted about 5-minute videos on YouTube for so long because they just have ants in the pants. Right? Because this is supposed to be an informative video. I should be able to like follow along while the video plays and not have to go back and forth and pause because you talk too damn fast. Like they act like the video is to teach you something, but really it's just you know, they don't know how to teach things. They just think if the video doesn't go fast enough, people won't watch it. So I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the times that's correct. But if you're making a video to inform, you have to like calm your pants and use your old brain hole and be like, okay, what is the best way to do this? And people who are gonna watch this video most likely have 2 monitors. I'm going out on a limb here, just bear with me. I don't know how many people have 2 monitors, but so many times in my life, anybody that takes being a computer nerd or a gamer seriously has 2 monitors. Or 6. Or whatever. I don't know. I just see it. In my experience, it seems kind of rare that a person might have 1 monitor. Although I think I have seen it. Anyway, So, a person wants to... An informative video is meant to inform. Like the best designed things. Don't try to go against their design. Like a movie is entertainment, right? It's supposed to be entertaining. It's not supposed to be work. It's not supposed to, like, give you homework to do. It's supposed to be entertaining. And maybe I'll get to this later, because I had previously written in my head a small rant about that. The goal of a movie is to be entertaining. It's not work. And you know that because you're sitting down and eating snacks and looking at something. That's not work time. That's like relaxation. Let's chill out, enjoy ourselves time. It's entertaining time. Right? And yet there are movies that feel like work. Like $1 Million Baby, son of a bitch, I told myself I was gonna wait, and I just cannot stop. So $1 Million Baby, and again, this is not my ideas. I've read this elsewhere. Okay, I don't know where. It's probably from a meme, or like some, part of somebody else's version of this same talk about how movies are supposed to, fit the format. Like, this is something that just people refuse to realize about design. And it's not refuse to realize, it's like good designers, truly good designers, understand that good design is about simplicity. It's not about how much stuff can we cram into this device. It's about simplicity. Alright? If you make a watch, the only thing it needs to do is tell time. Right? That's a watch. I don't want a watch that has a calendar in one of the menus. I don't want a watch that tells me how bad my blood pressure is. I don't want a watch that gives me Facebook notifications. That's what my phone is for, or my computer. Well, actually, now that I come to think of it, your phone is for calling other people. You shouldn't be doing stuff that is considered to be smart. Like, you've got a computer in your pocket. And blah, blah, blah. You can just do so much stuff. Like millions of apps and, endless hours of, utility and entertainment. So many functions. And maybe that's the reason why some people say things like, I just crave a flip phone. I just crave it. Why can't I just have that? I just want the phone to be a phone. And y'all are right. And I had to force myself to say right. Because you are very right. And I almost said you're not wrong. Anyway. So, like, if you want, like, super simple way of deciding what to buy, like, you need a new microwave, like I did. Or you just want a new microwave, like your old one sucks ass. The way you tell a microwave that is well designed and that you will enjoy using is that it's simpler. And the microwave I bought, I am so, like, overjoyed that I found it, because I know that I've used this microwave at some workplace in the past, and I recognized the quote-unquote UI, the user interface, and it has very simple, like, limited amount of buttons. I mean, you guys gotta listen to memes like the ones that shit talk microwaves that have a popcorn button and say, Nobody uses the popcorn button. Nobody uses the potato button. Nobody uses the defrost button. Those people are right. We bypass those buttons. Every time I have to use a microwave, I just shortcut learning that whatever stupid microwave it is, like at a workplace. And all I want is the time cook function, right? I gotta learn, the time cook function and ignore literally 15 other buttons in most cases. And it's just absurd how so many people don't realize this. And right now, if you're a person that buys products, I'm talking to you. Because you guys have the power, or we have the power. Don't buy the stuff that is not well designed. Don't buy microwaves that have a compass, okay? Don't buy a car that has a lawnmower on top, right? Don't buy phones that, I don't know. If you find yourself like getting stressed out or easily overwhelmed, I mean, first of all, you might want to check to see if you're ADHD. But also, I'm just putting it out there as a theory that maybe good design is sort of universal. That even non-ADHD people, prefer the good design stuff. Good design is about simplicity. Good design is about usable without thinking. Like, somebody made this joke. A good UI is like a good joke. If you have to explain it, it's not good. Right? That seems logical, right? It seems logical because it is logical. Like when you use things that are well designed, it is obvious what it does. When you look at a door handle, like the one in Jurassic Park that the raptors learned how to use, that is because you know how to work it just by looking at it, right? And it seems I don't know how to say this. That's more difficult to achieve than you might think. That requires like the simplicity in a good design. Often gets seen as like lazy or short-sighted or something. But it's not. It's just that this designer tried really, 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 really hard and spent time. Because if you're a writer or an editor or something, or you like the phrase less is more, those things are true for a reason. It is so hard to cut, 1,500 pages of notes and world building and narrative and like scenes and characters down to 300 pages of fantasy novel. That is hard. Okay? And deciding, what gets cut, what stays, and what gets cut, and why. And the why will like drive you mad if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why it's super helpful to remove yourself somehow from the material. I have done it by, when I say I mean lots of people do it this way. You can, if you're like writing a book and you're feeling passionate about this book and you get it to a point, let's say you finish the first draft, and you think that, okay, next step is to start, going through and editing. That would be a big mistake. The step after that is to take a long ass break and try and get rid of so much of the emotional investment, because after you finish your first draft, you're still really passionate about it, and you have put so much time and effort into this first draft, and there's a reason why people, pass things like this part off to an editor. Oh, am I still recording? Because the editor is not going to be swayed by, how much time you spent or how much you liked this one character you built up. If you give your first draft to an editor, they're going to go through it and they're going to say, well, first of all, you're using 4 characters and you should be using 3. So you need to condense. And that's going to be a super heated conversation. I don't know how that could go well. But the editor is correct. Because the editor is, doesn't care about how much time you spent on what. The editor just wants, the novel to be the best version of the novel that it can be. And it'll be obvious to, editors who didn't, put their blood, sweat, and tears into the first draft. What is good about this novel and what needs to be fixed or changed. And those emotions just, they work against you if you're the writer and you think you're ready to edit and you're not. So I was writing a comic called Touch Starved World. It's not important what it was about right now, but there was 4, maybe 5, depending on how you look at it, main characters. And I had to give up working on it because life events, I was moving, and there was a bunch of other, I was moving and starting a new job at the same time, and there was other serious things happening at the same time. And I did not want to, I had to take that off the table because I didn't want to be stressed out, and I'm very invested in that project, or at least back then. And if you're stressed out by 3 major life events, plus 16 smaller events, I'm just gonna get frustrated every time I try to work on this comic, because that takes a lot of, focus and passion, and it's just very difficult to do even in good times. So I was trying to take a break from that, and I did take a break on that. I dealt with a bunch of life stuff. I got used to the new job. I like the new job now. I really love the place I live now. All the other life events came and went. I didn't die. A lot of those things got exponentially better. But anyway, at a certain point, I started thinking, let me just check in with that story real quick. And I realized right away, oh, this 4th character is going to be cut. I'm cutting her. It wasn't that hard. I was like, yeah, it would be better if I cut her. And dispassion So dispassion is just so valuable. And like I said, you can get that by just taking yourself out of the equation and letting an editor handle it. And having trust in the editor. And trying not to be emotional about things that need to be cut. That's why there's a quote that goes, "Kill your darlings." I don't know who wrote that quote, but it's a good quote. It's not a good quote if, you're a mother who's raising 2 toddlers. So, if you're one of those, this quote is not for you. It's not about, killing the kids that you're trying to raise. So, focus here, okay? This quote is for writers killing characters, not people. And it says kill your darlings. Like a darling is like some character that you've made that you're super, super attached to and you want to keep in the novel. But it just kind of condenses the whole philosophy about being able to love and develop a character and spend a ton of time on it, with all of your best and hardest work and best intentions. But you also have to be able to kill them, like, without hesitation. Whew. And this video just, man, everything, so many things I talk about just get so dark so fast. And even though these are characters, they're not real. And sometimes it doesn't, like, kill your darlings doesn't mean take out a whole character. Like, a lot of times characters get condensed. Like, you've got 2 characters, in an ensemble cast that are the funny one. And an editor would be like, so, you've got 8 characters, and 2 of these characters are the same character. And you just admit it to yourself. Just condense them, okay? I know you think that it's important for 2 characters to play off of each other. And you don't have to give that up, okay? But you've got funny character number 1 playing off of funny character number 2. And I promise you it's not going to be good. Because so many people have tried and failed. And if you don't believe me, does anybody remember the names or any of the jokes dropped by the 2 funny robots in the first Transformers movie? The Michael Bay one. You can't remember them off the top of your head. Because those were 2, maybe even more than 2, lighthearted, goofy, like, silly comedy characters. And those should have been condensed. Or something. I just want to say that I might be wrong about the example, but if you look hard enough, you'll find examples of movies or books or TV shows where 2 characters were basically fulfilling the same function. Like, they're both the serious one, or the cool one, or the funny one. And even though lots of times in real life that is what happens, but a movie is not real life. A movie is a movie, and real life is real life. Anyway, it's time for the end of this video. However, it is not the end of the talk. I just don't want to make longer than a 1-hour video, so I have to stop and start. Okay, ready, go.